All right, quick update. We are making some progress getting down there, but the gold in this clay stuff is not great. So I figured out that the best gold is sitting on top of this clay layer, which means this stuff has been sitting here for a long time. I'm sure there's still a chance of really rich material, but it's got to be the bottom of the boil hole. So I feel like I'm excavating eggs over here. Every time I hit a rock, it takes everything in my power to remove one of them. Alright, good morning guys. Welcome back to another video. We are back today in the California muddleload, and today we got something a little bit different. We're going to be heading across the river with a new boat I just bought, and it's an inflatable pack raft, which we're going to be accessing areas that no one has really accessed in a long time. This river is usually too fast. It's early summer, almost middle of summer right now, and it's finally slowing down to where I could safely cross. But even during the midsummer, this river is too deep to really get across with all your gear. So most people, when they do get in the water, they're sniping. And so yesterday I filmed an episode across, and we got so much chunky gold, big gold over across, and I was actually really surprised with how much gold was over there. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, and right here, I don't know if you see, there's a big old boil hole, and it basically, from that boil hole level all across, is literally loaded with gold. Every single crevice I tried had gold in it, and some of them were packed full. But my question is, does that boil hole have gold? So normally you wouldn't really work boil holes, but once in a while you'll get really packed full ones, and that one has huge rocks in it, which I'll show you when we get over there. And I'm thinking there might be something good at the bottom. Usually all the best gold is going to concentrate at the bottom, especially if it's smooth or there's a crevice down there, it's going to catch even more gold. So my guess it's smooth on the bottom, which will be less gold for us. But if you guys want to take a guess how much gold we find today, leave it down in the comments. That's my guess right here. I'm guessing like 0.2 of a gram. So that's my hope for. But at this particular river, I have found huge gold in those little tiny boil holes, and this one's huge. So I'm thinking there might be something good in there, possibly. So we're gonna get that raft set up. We're gonna get across to the other side of the river and get to emptying it out, and hopefully start panning out all the material. Hopefully we could get it all done today. All right, let's get to it. All right guys, let's get this raft blown up. It only takes a few minutes. We're gonna go ahead and get everything blown up. We're gonna get everything in the raft, and we're gonna cross, and then we'll be able to start cleaning out that boil hole. So let's get it done. All right, we're ready for liftoff. Oh, forgot the rope. Do need that. always have a rope attached, so if something goes wrong you can grab onto it, or it's easier to dock the boat, you know. It just took us like a second to get across to where the good gold is. Alright, made it. Go ahead and... So the plan here is I'm gonna move my backpack and we'll put it over here, and we'll throw all those rocks right there in that little gully and let them come down and hit that, get down into the river. So we'll try to get as many of those out, as much water as we can out, and hopefully there's some good gold at the bottom. So the chance of there being gold down there that's untouched is very high, because there's really no way across the river without a raft or swimming across. But with a bunch of gear, it's kind of hard to swim across, and that's the reason I got the raft, so we could get gear over here, and it's paid off. Yesterday we got 1 gram in just crevices, which is really good. All these crevices are loaded, so let's go ahead and get our backpack, get our stuff for the day. We'll go put our stuff in the shade as well, so our drinks and stuff stay cool. And we'll get the bucket and start shoveling out. This water is pretty nasty. It is on the nasty end. Alright, so what we want to see once we start digging down is a milky material. That's the only thing. If you guys are digging in boil holes, I have learned that unless you're seeing a milky or like a really red material, that material hasn't been sitting long, so it could have been cleaned out and somebody else has already got the gold, and then the river filled in with gravels and sands. You don't want gravels and sands, at least at most rivers. So we'll get the water down, then we'll start removing all these rocks. And don't want to step in this stuff, but kind of also, another thing I'm not noticing is you could tell this was cleaned out at one point if there was a really strong staining line. This is obviously from water. There is a little bit of a water staining line, but there isn't. You'll see once we get down and move some material, you'll see there's a very strong staining line, and that's what you want to see. That means it hasn't been cleaned out. So, or it's been 10-20 years since it has been, which maybe the old timers did clean it out. This could be loaded. So that's the exciting part about these boil holes. There could be 0.1 grams of gold in here, or at this river I have found a couple of grams in boil holes altogether. So I'm hoping this thing has filled up with some really rich material, especially with these rapids right up over here, and there is some deep water. To get this big of rocks in here would have had to really been a big storm. So my chances are high, so let's continue. Alright guys, we're going to take a quick break from the video to talk about today's sponsor, and that is Ruco. They were nice enough to send me out a drone for me to try out on my videos, and we're going to film with it today. So all the videos today, cinematic shots, are filmed by this Ruco drone. So if you guys like it, I'm going to leave a link down below for you guys to try it. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how it looks and some of the key features it has, which I'm actually quite impressed. Alright, so when you get your drone, you have 3 batteries, which in total have 96 minutes of flight time, which is quite impressive, especially for a smaller drone. So I believe this drone is also under 249 grams, so you can fly it without a license. So it folds out. Oh, I just did it wrong. Go ahead and fold it out. We also have the controller right here, which I'm actually impressed. This thing is built pretty good. It's almost comparable to like a high quality drone, like a DJI. So, and that's where you put your phone at, and it has your connector cable where you connect it. And just like most of the higher end quality drones, you have your joysticks that come out and fold down below, and you could take them out and you could attach them real quick. All right. Also, this drone has fast charging. It does come with a separate kit which you could buy, which I'll show you right here, and it charges all your batteries. You could charge up to 3 things at once with connectors that go to European socket. Also, this drone, like most of the higher end quality ones, it does have a sensor so it doesn't run into things. So as you can see, we have a 4K camera with a gimbal on it so you can look around. We'll go ahead and plug this thing in and we'll try it for you guys to see, but you can control this while you're in mid-flight. Also, it comes with cameras that are sensors, so when you're in flight it doesn't run into things, and it also is safe. It's also self-stabilizing in midair. So we'll give this thing a try. We'll plug it in and we'll get it up there and get some shots of that boil hole we were talking about and some of the river. So let's get to it. Look at that thing. That's gnarly. Whew. Look at the thing next to my hand. There's some nasty things in here. There's like a giant cricket. Alright, it smells pretty foul in here, but we need us to get down beneath this top layer of sand and get down to some milky white stuff. So we'll go ahead and do a time lapse of me removing all these rocks, and we'll see what happens. Alright, so we got most of the big rocks, the top layer out. So what we're gonna do is start digging down and see if we get some good material. And I did leave some water in here, but that's mostly so I can maybe do some test pans. I really shouldn't, because then I'm gonna be repanning my material, and cleaning this thing out is gonna take months. So but if I hit a really good material, I really do want to test pan. So we're gonna start digging at the highest point down. Real sandy, which I don't think there's gonna be much in it. So I'm seeing crazy amount of micro gold, but I'm not sure if that was already in the pan because I used this pan to clean out yesterday. Pretty sure it is, so we'll snuffer it up and try again. Let's scrape off the bottom. Oh yeah. That's the stuff right there. Look at these rocks that have been sitting down there for ages. That's very encouraging. We might be looking at something good, possibly. It could also be in a spot where the flow just doesn't bring gold, you know? It all just depends. Wow, look at this material. That's been sitting there for a while. So this is, it's good, but it's still not as thick of clay as I'd like. We might still be in the surface clay. So it might be something in there, but let's see. Oh yeah, guys, I see a nice piece of gold already. It's not huge, but it's a upgrade from what we were looking at before. Oh my goodness. Look at those chunky pieces of gold. Those are much nicer. I think we're gonna get something really good down below. I have a good feeling. I can't believe we just found this. It's just amazing. So you guys might not see it, but there's a piece of gold that's round and almost really coarse, which is amazing. So we're gonna snuffer this up and continue. I think we're gonna see some more really good gold as we get further down. So as I started working down, I realized the further down I got, the smaller the gold. And I still was finding gold in the harder packed clay, but my guess is that the first pieces of nice gold I found was sitting on top of that really hard clay. So in order to see really good results, I probably have to spend a couple weeks digging out all that hard packed clay and see what's settled down in the bottom, because this hole is probably anywhere from 3 to 5 feet deep, and I could only imagine what's at the bottom. There could be anywhere from a gram to maybe 10. With how hard packed this material is, it's been sitting for years. I'd say 10 to 50 years probably. I'm not sure if anyone's ever even tried to clean it out. It just it got to a point where I was having trouble just breaking through. It was so cemented together from sitting so long. So yeah. Alright, so far most of the other pans had micro gold, nothing big like that first picker. Well, that thing wasn't big, but look at this. We are getting down to where it's so packed, this material is literally just solid. So I broke some of this up just so I could scoop it. But these rocks in here are, I'm having to chisel. I'm glad I brought the rock bar, because I almost didn't. And I didn't even think about this oil hole is probably solid. So we're gonna keep digging, keep panning, and oh, also check out this. I found a piece of steel that's like pretty worn down. So for a piece of steel to get this high up and get in here, imagine if there was a gold nugget that size that also was with this piece of steel. So that's amazing. So we'll keep any cool things we find over there. We're gonna keep digging and see what else we get. Let's go pan this out. All right, with how hard this material is, progress is really slow. So we're still making headway. We got some rocks unjammed. The gold is not great, but since there is gold in the flood material, the upper stuff, I almost guarantee whatever's on the bottom is gonna be concentrated. It's just getting down to it, which is pretty hard. I've been trying really hard, and this stuff, it's a lot of panning with heavy material. There's a lot of material here, and the bottom seems like never ending. So I doubt we'll even get close to the bottom today. So yeah, so we'll keep going. Hopefully we'll see some progress by the end of the day with a little bit of gold, but my guess is still 0.2. With seeing the gold that I've got so far, 0.2 is a very very doable goal, and probably around what I'll get for the day. So unless I hit the bottom and then it starts getting super rich, then it could change. The only thing is, with how rich this whole side of the river is, I'm just surprised. Like 10 feet over, I did a crevice and got probably a 1/4 gram. So thinking that same material is dropping in this hole, I would think the bottom, once we hit the bottom, there'll be a couple of grams, if not 5-10 grams of gold down there, if not a couple nuggets, you know. But we'll see. All right, quick update. We are making some progress getting down there, but the gold in this clay stuff is not great. So I figured out that the best gold is sitting on top of this clay layer, which means this stuff has been sitting here for a long time. I'm sure there's still a chance of really rich material, but it's got to be the bottom of the boil hole. So I feel like I'm excavating eggs over here. Every time I hit a rock, it takes everything in my power to remove one of them. They're just so dang jammed in here. This one's almost out. I've been working on it for a good hour now. Oh, I didn't realize it was so loose. All right, huzzah. Don't know if I'll even be able to pull it out, but I'm hoping this thing was sitting on the bottom. Oh my gosh. Trying to get this thing out is a hassle. All right, I think we can do it. Oh my gosh. Woo! That was a lot of work. Let's get this thing out of here. Oh, that made a big splash. Let's try some of the material beneath it. I doubt there's any gold in it, but if it was sitting on bedrock, there's a chance. So grab our pan. So far I haven't been getting too much gold, but it's for the experience. By the way, we won't be cleaning this out all today. There's not enough time, but if you guys really want to see me do a part 2 to this video, you really enjoy it, if we get like 500 likes on this YouTube video, I will do a part 2. But so far it's not really worthwhile, and possibly if it could have grams and grams and grams of gold at the bottom of this hole, but getting down there is the hard part. You're working doing a lot of moving with no reward, you know. So, but it could be all at the bottom. So, yeah, it seems pretty soft down there. Ooh, real sandy. We hit a completely new layer. I'm not sure if we're on the bottom yet. I'm pretty sure we are, but it's going down even more. So this hole is probably 5 feet deep, if not more. Alright, moment of truth. Let's see. Do a pan back together. I'll be surprised if there's any gold in here. Yeah, there's no gold. That was disappointing. So are we digging for no reason? Maybe it was cleaned out at one point. I would think, I don't know. I would think that there's still gold down at the bottom of this thing. It's just gonna be a long time before I can get down deep. Look at that hole. Whew. Yeah, I think it's lunchtime, and then might do some crevices just to see some good gold. I'm gonna show you what we have so far. It's not a lot, but it is gold. I know I could get some pans where I get, I mean, some of these flakes are decent. They're just not huge. So that's so far what we got from like 20 pans, so it's not a lot. I know we could get way better crevicing on this side of the river. It's loaded over here, so we might do some crevices just to get some gold, and we'll separate that gold so we see. But I don't know, we might end the video here and then do a part 2 if you guys really want to see it. All right, so here's the plan. We're gonna leave the rest of that boil hole for a part 2. If we get enough likes, we'll go back and clean out more. But for now, I am gonna do this crevice really quick and show you guys how much gold. I'm sure there's more gold in this crevice than there is in that whole boil hole going down, but you never know what's down at the bottom of it. But let's go ahead and clean this out real quick, get it in my pan and see what kind of gold is in this thing. And we're about like 10 feet above where the crevice or where the boil hole is, so I'd be surprised. Alright, so we got our crevice material, and I just realized there is no bottom to that crevice, which means it goes about 10 feet down, so there's no real place for the gold to settle and concentrate. So most of the gold we're gonna see right now is flood gold. So there still might be just as much as we've gotten in that boil hole, but we'll see. Oh yeah. Oh, I might be going back to that crevice. Look at this. I think we already beat the material we got in the boil hole. Look at that thing. That's a nice picker right there. That just goes to show. Pretty sure it weighs about half of what we already got. So yeah. We're gonna probably spend the rest of the day crevicing. I'll show you what we got for the end of the day, and then show you what we got in the crevice. And yeah. Alright guys, we made it back to the other side. We got our boat. We're about to deflate and pack up and head out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If we do reach 500 likes, we will go back and actually clean more of that boil hole and do a part 2. But for now, I don't think it's really worth it unless I get all the way to the bottom, and that's going to take a lot of time. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. A huge shout out to any new channel members this week, and I'll see you guys next Friday. Alright guys, so here is the gold from that boil hole. There is gold in it, which makes me want to dig all the way to the bottom. So if we do end up hitting that light gold, we will see what we get at the bottom. But let's go ahead and tear this and have a look how much. So this is about for 5 hours worth of work. 0.13. So about 5 hours worth of work and $13 worth of gold. And then here is the gold we got from crevicing for about an hour before I left. So we'll weigh this up and show you guys how much we got. Alright, so here is the gold from the crevices. I did about 3 or 4 crevices in the last hour, and yeah, there's quite a bit of gold over on that side as long as you're crevicing. That's why it makes me want to clean out that boil hole, because I could only imagine what settled to the bottom. So 0.3 for about an hour's worth of work, so almost 3 times. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Also, a huge shout out to my channel members and Patreon members listed up on the screen. If you guys would like to help support the channel, consider checking out my website mishaboylan.com. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.
He's chasing dreams to go worldwide. Misha passes dreams with pride, shining nuggets in the daylight. With every scoop, this tale's untold, a YouTuber digging up the gold.